Hey guys, it's your boy Rumsey back with some good to step up your in-game efficiency and save your precious time and resources. Today we're going to be going over a method I use to farm all the bars I'll need for a playthrough. This method is very useful if you're playing with a small group or if you're just playing solo and like to upgrade all of your tiered items. Firstly, I'm just going to give you a rundown on the supporting structure for my smelters. I built a 3-story structure with the first or ground story being where I do my everyday base stuff such as crafting, portals, and resting. And then I built a second story about 2 tiles high, and this is where the smelters are actually going to sit. We're gonna place a hole in one of the tiles for the smelter to drop all of the smelted bars down onto our ground floor, just for convenience sake and the ability to just set it and forget it. As you can see here, I'm building more walls on top of my second story. This is going to be more of a loft. This is not necessary for the smelters themselves. This is just sort of a quality of life thing I'm building. I'm going to set some kilns up here and utilize the same method as we're using on our smelters, and we're just going to load up all of the kilns and the charcoal will fall down onto the floor of our smelters. This part is not necessary. Coal is easily transported as it weighs a lot less than bars. I'm just doing it for efficiency's sake. Here I'm showing you the orientation and placement of the smelters. What I'm doing is placing the smelters on a solid tile and then leaving some space near the spout of the smelter so that the bars can fall down and onto the ground floor of our base. A very important thing here is to leave one tile space in between the rows of smelters, and as you can see I have the smelters turned around, meaning the spouts are going to be facing the opposite way on each aisle, and this is going to make it so that we can run down the middle aisle there that we left empty with a cart full of ore and easily load each of the sides of the smelters with ore without having to go to the opposite side. As you can see here, I left a wide berth on the center tile so that we'll easily be able to get a cart down the middle. The cart can easily hang up, and that's why it's important to leave adequate space in the middle. And also here you can see that the spouts are going the opposite direction on each aisle. To save your cart from hanging up, I am building a retaining wall of sorts on either end, and this will just work as somewhat of a track to keep the cart from hanging up. Without this, I noticed that the cart hung up a lot more, and this just keeps the cart going straight and stops it from hanging up on any of the edges. Here I'm just going to do a dry run with my cart to show you guys what I'm talking about. You just want to make sure you leave adequate space on either side to get the cart down, and like I said, the retaining walls help a lot if you're hanging up. Here I'm running down the sides with another cart filled with coal. This is not as important as coal weighs a lot less than the ore itself. You can just as easily place crates on the sides and load them manually, but just to show you the concept here, I'm just using a cart. As I run down to the middle aisle, you can see the orientation of the smelters. All of the circles where you place the iron ore are all facing the middle, and the coal spouts are facing the outside. This makes it so you can run down the middle aisle and do all the ores at one time. Here we are on my partial third floor. It's more of a loft, like I said, and this is where I have all my kilns set up, and we're utilizing the same technique to load all of the kilns up with wood and have all the processed coal drop down onto the floor where the smelters are. This will just make life a lot easier for us. But once again, this is not necessary. One thing that I think is worth mentioning is I believe stone stairs actually work the best if you're trying to build any sort of hillside to take advantage of rolling things in this game. I'm not quite sure why. You would think the sloped ceilings would work a lot better, but at least from my experiments, the staircases seem to work a lot better. But if you can get it to work with the sloped ceilings, that's just as good too. As you can see, it works pretty efficiently. All but maybe 6 or 7 of them actually made it all the way down the chute. So yeah, that's pretty good considering we have 6 kilns up top here. After you gathered your coal, you're simply going to want to run a cart straight down through the middle aisle and load it up with all the ores that you need to smelt, and pull more out as you go down the aisle. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, and saves us a lot of time and hassle from running from side to side of the smelters. And yeah, I'm able to get 1 bar per 3 seconds with this current setup using 10 smelters. So it's pretty darn efficient and saves me a lot of time. And just in case anybody's curious, the approximate ratio for coal as fuel is roughly 1 metal per 2 coal. So that'll give you an idea of how much coal you need to smelt all your bars. As you can see here, as the bars are smelted, they're dropped down onto our first floor, and that is where we're going to be setting up all of our base stuff and it'll be nice to have all these smelters up out of the way, and especially since you can smelt a mass amount of bars pretty much AFK, you can just have them dropping down here into your crafting area, or where your portals are set up at your hub, and yeah, you'll just be able to grab all your bars without having to go up stories or go to the actual smelter rooms at your base. For time's sake, I'm just going to speed this next clip up and show you guys some free cam on kind of how the setup works, and give you a bird's eye view on the build itself in case anybody's curious. Using this method, I'm able to smelt 1 bar per 3 seconds, and that equals out to about a regular 10 slot chest being filled up in about 15 minutes, and I can fill a reinforced chest in just under a half hour, and it's mostly AFK, as you can probably tell, and I never have to worry about any bars being stuck up on the second floor or anything like that, or despawning, because they're all right there on my first story, which is easy to see and out of the way of the smelters. And yeah, it's surely a time saver, and I hope some of you guys can incorporate this into your base builds. If you have any ideas on how I can make this more efficient, or if you have any questions, please drop a comment. I will be happy to get back to you guys on any feedback. Yeah, I'm super stoked to be making videos on Valheim, and if there's anything you guys want to see, any sort of build videos or tutorials that I could make, yeah, let me know and I'll be happy to do that. I have some ideas coming up here in the future on some cool videos, and I'm just happy to be here and making videos on a game that we all love. For anyone who made it this far, I just want to say thank you for sticking around and watching my video. I look forward to hearing back from you guys, and I also want to take a second and thank everyone who left some love on my last video, and thank you for putting up with my my poor editing skills and my horrible mic quality. But yeah, I'm about to get a new microphone here, a little bit of relevance, but yeah, that should increase the quality of my next video. So yeah, thanks a lot guys. You guys stay safe, and I look forward to hearing from you. Peace.